Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the Spooked Girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three Spooked Girls, stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you along with the Spooked Girls. Bring on the slaughter, we on that haunted ground. The three Spooked Girls.
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and as always, I'm here with my ghoul friend Jessica.
Hello.
Hello. And today, as you guys can see by the title, we are being very on the nose because if you're listening on Publish Day, it is Thanksgiving in the US. So I decided, why not bring some Thanksgiving horror into our lives? Which is a little bit hard because I recently put a list together for my Substack and I was like, there really is not a lot of Thanksgiving themed movies. Plenty of holiday Christmas ones, New Year's ones, all of that shit. And also, the other soft spot is, this was part of Hulu's Into the Dark series, and y'all know, especially if you listen to us back in the 2019-2020 era, we've recapped quite a few of these movies here and on Patreon. So this just felt like it made sense. I'm kind of surprised we never did it, but I'm really excited to get into this because I got so many thoughts. I know you got so many thoughts because you just told me off recording you have so many thoughts. Mm-hmm. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, if you aren't new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for checking out the show. Returning Spooksters, welcome back. And if you are not hanging out with us on social media, what are you doing at this point? You need to go find us. Our handle for everywhere is at Three Spooked Girls. We're all the places: Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Yes, we have a Twitter, but we don't fuck with Twitter, so it's just kind of there. Threads is the place to be if you want episode updates and shit in that kind of format. Or the most fun way to connect with us is our Facebook group, which is Three Spooked Girls Official. It is, like we say every week, our favorite place on the internet, our favorite place to be, our Spooksters' favorite place to be. So not only do you get to interact with us, of course, you get to interact with other listeners of the show. There's a lot of great threads in there. It's always poppin'. I love it. I love it so much. Can't put into words how much I do. So definitely check that out. And if you are a reader, you can join our virtual book club that is located in the book club's app. It is called Spookster Literary Society. In current time, our end of year read is The Housemaid, and kind of like in honor of the movie coming out because Jess and I are huge Frida fans. So if you want to hang out with us, if you want to talk about books, we meet virtually once a month in our Discord. Come hang out with us over there too. And if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Three Spooked Girls. For as little as $1, you get one bonus episode a month. 5 and up get ad-free episodes the day before. And they also get access to our giant backlog of bonus content. There's bonus episodes. First, we have the all tier, of course, that I just mentioned. But we also sometimes drop other things. During 2020 and that era of life, we put out so much content that was audio and video. So tons of stuff if you have listened to everything there. And if you have not checked out Social Seance Society, that is our second show. And we just wrapped up the 2025 year in real time. If you're listening to this on Publish Day, we just put out our final episode for 2025. So definitely check it out. That is where our Twilight deep dive that we featured is. And when we did our Summer Slasher series, all of that stuff, that all lives there. And we have some really fun, I think we accidentally, in between recording the previous episode we sat down to record, and now, we decided what our first nostalgic topic is the safest way to say that is going to be. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's all I'll say is it's going to tie in with a newly released movie coming out in 2026. So Leave your guesses if you want. But I will leave that alone because you guys know we don't tell you guys things in case we change our minds, which given we have spicy brains, that sometimes does happen, but it's fine. I think this one though is gonna happen because we've both kind of been like low key, not hyper fixating on it necessarily, but we've definitely both been like, okay, we should do this.
Right.
Okay, we want to do this.
Right.
So I think we're gonna do it, but we'll see. Anyways, definitely check out our other show. If you haven't tuned into that, there's tons of episodes from the whole 2025 year, and we will be back with that one in January. So definitely check it out. But really, that is all I have. So we're going to go ahead and get into this crazy ass movie. If you would like to watch some festive movie today after you hear us talk about this, you can check out Pilgrim on Hulu or Disney+. It originally came out on November 1st of 2019. It's a short movie. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Here is the synopsis to set the stage for you guys, because I felt like this just needed to be said ahead of time so you guys fucking know what you're getting into. A woman invites reenactors to produce an authentic first Thanksgiving for her family and friends. However, things take an unexpected turn when the actors refuse to break character. I just have to say, really quick before we get into this, the whole aesthetic of like the clothes and the hair of like the regular characters, not the reenactors, was screaming like 2010 to me, by the way. Especially one of our like main girl's hair. I was like, this side part is deep. This is so screaming 2010s to me. I love it. Okay. So our film opens up with a college-aged girl named Cody, who we see her at home. They're sitting at dinner with her dad and who we learn is her stepmom and her little brother. Which, first thing I have to fucking mention, this was such an obvious fucking case of the parents are very obviously maybe 5 years older than the daughter.
Right.
In real life. They are so close in age. I was so confused at first. I'm like, because it's not very clear at first that those are her parents. I'm just going to say that. I'm like, is she a nanny? What is happening? They're so close in age. It just doesn't work.
What's really interesting for me is that the guy who plays the dad was Jack on Dawson's Creek. And I was like, oh
yeah,
it's you.
So just so we know, because we're going to start using character names very quickly just for easy's sake. Okay, so we got Cody, our main girl, who's the daughter and in college, probably like 19 or 20. Then said dad from Dawson's Creek, his name is Shane. He's that typical like breadwinner, super up his job's ass, always working, that kind of stuff. Then we have stepmom named Anna, who's literally a Pinterest mom to the fullest. We will get more into that. And then her cute little, oh my God, this little kid was so adorable. His name is Tate, and his character is like 8 years old. He's this adorable little kid. Love him.
He plays Nicolaj on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
For those that know, I don't know. I'm sorry. That is something I have not watched, but for everybody else on the planet.
You should.
I know. Also, this recap's probably going to be a little chaotic, but it's like this movie was chaotic, so it's fine. It's all on brand. Okay, so set the scene. The four of them, now that we know who everybody is all sitting at this table, right? And Anna has this big-ass announcement that she's like, oh my God, you guys, guess what I did? And she does the weirdest fucking thing. She lets them know that she hired some historical, quote, quote, Pilgrim reenactors to come to their house and run an authentic harvest festival. Keep in mind also, they live in the fucking suburbs. They're not living out in the middle of nowhere, nothing like that. Please keep that plot hole in your mind the entire movie because there is craziness that happens later and I am like, how is no one doing anything? And she says that the idea is that these reenactors will, over multiple days, she didn't just hire them for Thanksgiving. They're going to be there multiple days, but they are there to show them how truly grateful they should be and reenact, all of this early colonial life and just give her kids some perspective. And immediately I am like, Blumhouse, I love you, because this is a Blumhouse movie too. Cody immediately calls her out and is like, oh, okay, cool. So we're just gonna pretend, the whole colonization of this and them killing fucking Native Americans didn't happen. Got it. Cool. Love this so much for you. And of course, she's just like, you could tell she's one of those moms that's trying to act like everything's fucking perfect because she's just like, doesn't really say anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is not the nanny because the nanny would not be saying this shit. Right. But then we quickly figure out she's like, it's actually like the family thing. Right. And I think it was dad pulled out, or was it Anna? Someone pulls out a wishbone. Who pulls out our wishbone?
The dad.
The dad's like, let's distract and do this. And of course, in good older sister form, Cody has this immense soft spot for her brother, Tate. So she's like, okay, cool, and does it with him. And Cody makes a wish that the whole festival Anna planned will backfire. And wouldn't you know, she's the winner of this little, I don't know if you would call it a game, but this little like wishbone tradition, because it's whoever, the idea is, if you don't know, whoever pulls the bigger end when it breaks will get granted their wish. And Cody wins. So her little wish will definitely come to fucking fruition. Now, we kind of flash forward to an HOA meeting social. I don't think it's like an actual meeting. It looks like it's like, maybe it's supposed to be some kind of Thanksgiving get together type of situation, because it literally just looks like a cocktail hour thing at their house.
Right.
But all the HOA people are there. And I loved the little joke of Cody talking to her dad and referring to the HOA people as the Stepford wives and just being like, fuck all of this shit, because she literally questions things the whole movie. And then their doorbell rings. And while all of these fucking people are there, these pilgrims show up. And I like how everyone is like, this is weird, but okay. Like, does Anna do this all the time? Has she hired like a Santa and elves before? Because if it was you, I'd be like, Jessica, what the fuck are you doing? And why are you wasting? I don't even want to know how much money it was to get these people here.
Right. Though I will say that my mom used to dress me like a pilgrim as a child for Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, one, that was the 90s. And two, it's different dressing your kid up versus these grown adults showing up, because they are fucking weird from the jump.
Right.
They are fucking weird. So Anna goes and is like, oh my God, let me go open the door. Because at first no one's doing anything with the fucking doorbell ringing. I'm like, you're the hostess. Go open your fucking door. Like,
right.
Why are we all just being like, okay, cool. So we get this guy named Ethan, and he's in the full pilgrim getup, and he's like, you know, basic white man, blonde hair, light features, blah, blah, blah. And with him is a woman named Patience, and she's also dressed in a pilgrim getup with like the hair covering thing, and then the black dress and the apron and all of that shit, right? And they are in full character. Now, okay, here's the thing. I have seen people argue being like, don't they think it's weird they stayed in character the whole time? And I'm like, no, they're literally hired to be reenactors of pilgrims. Right. And the expectation is they're going to do this over several days. So of course they're not going to break character, because then it's like, that kind of ruins the whole point of them being there, I guess. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that part's not that weird. But what's weird to me is Anna has Ethan, the guy, staying with them. But then they have this friend, which at first I was like, is this like an aunt or what's going on? Thank God it's not an aunt. It's actually Cody's boyfriend's mom. And we learned that Catherine, the mom, is friends with Anna. So like, it's, you know, it's just a family friend. But Patience is going to stay at her house, which I was like, Jessica, don't send a pilgrim to my house, please. But like, what the fuck? That is such a weird white rich people thing. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. It's fucking weird.
It is weird because like Catherine is like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And Anna's like, no, you need this. I was like,
for what?
I'd have been like, Tara, I love you, but like, get fucked.
Yeah, no, they could stay in your guest room.
Take your pilgrim and get fucked.
Yeah, they could stay in your guest room.
Right.
And Cody's clocking this immediately. She's like, this is fucking weird. Like, why are we doing this? Like, and it's extra weird that they're literally staying in our house. Later, when the HOA ladies leave and all of that stuff, Cody's like hanging out in her room. She's like on her computer or whatever. Ethan has this habit throughout the early part of the movie to like sneak up on Cody and butt his way in with her brother and things like that. So he like pops up there and they're talking and she's just like, homie, get away from me. Because literally they had just went through this like dinner with, I think, Ethan. I don't think Patience was there anymore. And he's like doing his whole reenactor thing, talking about the Mayflower, all of this shit. And Cody's like, okay, I get it, but I'm fucking over it. And this is still really weird. And he comes in and he's got this like weird, creepy focus on his family and all of this sacrifice. And basically he says that him losing his family made him redirect his life. And his whole life mission is to make sure that other people appreciate what they have.
Right.
But he says it in this really like puritanical, creepy ass way. And Cody's just like, okay, cool. What the fuck? Like, got it. You can go now. So boyfriend sneaks in, they're hanging out, whatever. They're literally just talking. But then she starts hearing Ethan's voice. She hears a man's voice because it's like muffled, obviously. And she's like, I'm going to go check on my brother. I'll be right back. And I would have flipped my shit because this man is a fucking stranger. She walks in and fucking Ethan is just like sitting on the bed with Tate, like either reading or telling him a story or some shit. And good on Cody. She's like, oh, nope, time for bed. We're fucking done. Get the fuck out of my brother's room. What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, just some creepo adult. Because apparently Anna and Dad just don't give a shit about this. They're just like, it's fine. Everything's fine. And I'm like, no, bro. If I saw a reenactor in my child's room, my 8-year-old's room, I'd be like, get the fuck away from my kid, you weirdo.
Right? Stay away from Nicolaj. Sorry, I'm just going to refer to him as that for the rest of the show.
It's okay. So that encounter happens. And then the next morning, Cody gets up and everything is like hustle and bustle. Because I think this whole movie most of it takes place on Thanksgiving Day. So I guess now it's Thanksgiving Day. I didn't realize this at first. I thought they were just prepping because they had said they were staying multiple days. But like they have switched out like a bunch of the light bulbs. There's a bunch of like candlesticks and everything. And it's like super dark in the house. And Cody's kind of like, what the fuck? And Anna's like, it's more authentic. We're gonna do this. And then big red flag in the horror world. They are like, we need to take your devices. We need to have your phone and we need to take your laptop because you don't need any of this shit. And Cody's like, what the fuck? So she tries to, I'm like, smart girl. She tries to give rebuttal and be like, I need my laptop for school. And then, of course, her mom is like, or her stepmom's like, nope, you're on fucking Thanksgiving break. You're fine. You don't need to do shit. So bye-bye electronics, which I'm like, oh boy, okay. This is never good when they take your fucking phones.
Right? Never good.
Never good. And then the weird thing was we not only are seeing them like decorate the house with this like 17th century time period shit, but then now there's magically a whole ass shed in the backyard.
Right?
Like how?
When did he have time to build that?
Literally, how? Even with their gaggle of pilgrims that we'll see in a second, I am like, there is no way. And none of you guys woke up, nothing like. Definitely would have woke up hearing that in the middle of the night and neighbors would have heard that because they aren't in like suburbia where you're a little spread out or living in the country by themselves. No, it's like a regular suburban neighborhood. There's houses on houses.
Right.
Like you share the property line.
Keep that little fact in your head when we start talking about shit later because I'm like, what is happening?
Yes, please. There was so many points later. I was like, how is nobody hearing them? How is no one hearing screams? How is no one hearing X, Y, and Z? But I digress. We don't question plot holes in horror movies because we know if there wasn't them, the movie wouldn't exist. But of course, Anna's like all about this. This is like, she's still like so gung-ho. She's like, oh my God, it is so authentic. I love it. I love this random rickety shack in the backyard. It's great. She's all about it. So then we pop on over to Catherine's house where Patience, our other pilgrim, is. And I recognized her. I can't remember what I've seen her in, but like I've definitely seen her before. And that's kind of driving me nuts. So I'll have to look it up. But Catherine and Patience are in the kitchen and they're just kind of talking about stuff. And she's talking about how Ethan's changed her life completely with being grateful for what you have and da-da-da-da-da and positive. And I think a little churchy stuff kind of comes up. But Catherine's one of those people where it's like she's very comfortable with speaking her opinion. And she's like, well, to be honest with you, I'm a glass half full person. I am not an optimist. So like, love that for you, but that's not me. She's a full ass adult. So she's like, I ain't changing. That's just how I view the world. And then Patience is like, let me make you some tea. This will make you feel so much better. And I am like, bitch, don't drink the tea from the Pilgrim lady. Please do not. But does she? Of course she does.
Never drink the tea that is a family recipe.
Because she's like, it's an old recipe for centuries, da-da-da, like all this shit. It's like, no, thank you. So while she's making this tea, she is talking about how she needs to kind of change her point of view. And she's like, you need to quit being ungrateful. You have this house, you have your health, you have all of these things, blah, blah, blah. And then Catherine's like, oh, this house isn't that great. Like, da-da-da. And then later in the movie, we see the full fucking like house. And I'm like, this is a nice ass house. I would love that house.
Very nice.
I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, you doing just fine. So she gives her the tea finally, and she starts drinking it. And then she kind of just falls over. Surprise, surprise. And Finn, the boyfriend, he comes home and he's like, Mom, I'm home, whatever. Clink the keys, putting them in the little bowl. I want to know, do you guys actually put your keys in bowls or do you put it on hooks? We're a hook household.
I have a dish.
You have a dish? Okay. What do you guys do? Let me know.
It's a Kate Spade plate.
I love that.
Super fancy for no reason.
I love it. You got to have little glimmers of fun in life for sure. So he gets home and he's clinking his keys, and I almost like blacked this part out because it's not even that scary or that gory, but like it's enough of a visual that your mind is just like starting to reel and wonder. And I realized I kind of like blocked this part out. So I'm gonna let Jess tell this part because for some reason this just traumatized me for a second, even though there's worse shit later.
I know. But no, this is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
So Finn gets home. He hears this, like, he's like calling for his mom. There's no response. He hears this like thunking sound. And at first I was like, what are they doing upstairs? Mm-hmm. What's happening? Mm-hmm. So then he goes upstairs and Patience is sitting staring out of a window, churning, quote, butter. And I'm using quotation marks.
It's not butter.
And he's like looking at her and he can see that her hands have blood on it. And that in the butter churn, blood is coming out. Mm-hmm. So whatever the fuck she's doing has blood in it. She's making blood butter, apparently. And then he's like, the fuck? And he backs out of the room slowly. And then he turns and he sees his mom. And he's like, ah, and screams.
The proper thing you would do. Yeah.
Right. Instead of like, backing out quietly.
Right.
And he runs down the stairs. Patience is chasing him. He goes to get his phone because it's this big dramatic thing with his phone. And Patience whacks him in the head.
He's fucked. Mm-hmm. So then we go back to Cody's house. And now there's like a million fucking pilgrims there. There's at least like 10 to 15 of them by the end of this movie at their fucking house.
Right.
But it's like she's walking down a hallway and there's 2 to 3 there. She goes into the kitchen. There's now some more women there. And then they go outside and there's men doing things and building things because of course they're building more things. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, we're preparing for the feast. He's like this big ass dude. So it's like, oh, okay, great.
I am the builder.
I am the builder. Yeah, fuck the builder. He gets his shit later. So Patience shows up at their house and she has told Anna, because Catherine had been a recovering alcoholic. She tells Anna that Catherine and Finn left the previous night and they never came back. And she felt really uncomfortable. And she could tell by how Catherine was acting, she had gone on a bender. So she didn't feel safe staying there. So she wanted to come back over here where everybody else was. And so Anna, being a fucking clueless dumbass, is like, okay, no problem. I'm like, bitch, why the fuck didn't you call Catherine right fucking then? I'm sorry. She didn't even try.
Because they're friends.
Literally.
Like, I would think that if my friend, even if it was casual, but there is a connection because the children are dating and they know the children are dating, that they would reach out because Finn, like, to make sure he's okay.
Right. And then at that point, Cody comes and she's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, she's like, Finn wouldn't just leave and not tell me. He wouldn't ghost me. And then, that's when it's like, Anna's like, it's fine. Quit trying to cause shit, basically. So she's like, no, fuck y'all. So she grabs her keys and she fucking goes over to Finn's house. And when she goes there, it's like, they're gone. We get this creepy, what we think is a pool of blood, but really it's just like a candle or something. It's that trope of the false jump scares. And then Finn's body just falls out of the closet with his throat slashed. And so rightfully so, she's like,
right,
bitch, my boyfriend's dead. What the fuck? So she's like, I guess just left her car there because they just start showing her running. She's just running back to her house. I'm like, girl, get in the car. Girl, get in the car. It's faster.
I know. But I think it's like one of those things where like your brain isn't working because you just saw your boyfriend that you love dead.
Yes. Yes. So she runs over there and there's another weird scene with Tate and Ethan. And he's telling Ethan about this story about being grateful for what you have. And he gives him a piece of like saltwater taffy because he's got like a whole bag of it.
Right.
And being an 8-year-old boy, Tate is like, can I have another one? And he's like, well, he says something to effect of like, oh, candy's a treat and it should be savored. So like, be grateful that you got one at all, whatever. And he's a good little kid. So he's like, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Like, thanks. You're right. And so then they keep talking. And then there's this fucking dead bird, this dead crow, like circled with rocks and just laying there dead. And I'm like, first of all, what the fuck kind of shit has this little boy seen that he's just like, oh, there's a dead bird here. It's fine. Like, he doesn't even react to it. He's just like, it's there.
He's the one putting the rocks around the bird. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, he's just like, do. We just set up little animal sacrifices all the time. It's fine.
Right?
And then he's just talking about being grateful for Ethan's talking about being grateful for what you have in this like whole like sermon-y creepy thing. And then he like asks the kid a question, being like, seeing if he understands what he's saying, right? And Tate, smart kid, he's like, oh yeah, I get it. You're saying blah, blah, blah. And then he looks up at the sky and he says, see, I didn't have to take everything away from him so he could learn the lesson. He just learned it, like type of shit. And I'm like, oh, so you're so happy you didn't have to kill him. Cool, because we know that's what's coming.
Right.
And so then he gives him another piece of candy and he's like, run off, my boy. I'll clean up this bird. And then he like stomps on the fucking crow's head, and it's just like so gross because there's just so much like ew, like violence and vitriol aura about this dude, and you're just like, huh, ew, creepy, ew. And at that point, Cody's like, get the fuck away. And she tries to tell him like, hey, let's play hide and seek. Go hide. Whatever. And you notice, this is important for later, they do this little knocky thing together. He'll like knock once in response to her knocking twice because they do this little thing.
Right.
I'm assuming so they know it's each other. And then I would just assume it's when they were playing hide and seek and their parents would be home that he wouldn't reveal himself if it wasn't his sister type of shit. So we got all of that going. And thank God this kid loves his sister and listens because that's what saves his ass later. And at this point, our pilgrims are also inside the gaggle of them putting our dinner together.
The gaggle.
And holy fucking shit, so much is about to happen. But I'm going to give it to our recap queen to finish this movie because I literally could not even take notes at this point. I was just like, I have to sit here and watch this. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And it's like watching tennis where you're like back and forth. So your turn.
It's crazy. Okay. So Tara mentioned that Tate is playing hide and go seek. It's crazy. Like the way that this movie is shot is a little weird and seems a little out of sequence. So anyway, that's what Tate is doing. He's still in hide and go seek mode. And I feel like they take this game so fucking seriously, Cody and Tate. Then at this point, Anna is like coming out of a fog of like, in the reenactors world. I think she's starting to realize that there's too many people here. This feels too much like they're turning it into a Pilgrim like land type situation.
You know what it is? It's when Patience asks her to go to the store for Rosemary.
So she's like, Anna goes and talks to Shane, who's the dad, and is like, hey, Shane, have you seen Tate? And he's like, no. But mind you, Shane is a workaholic. And I want to point out that like Shane's workaholic is he's literally staring at stocks. That's all he's doing.
On his phone.
He's not actually doing anything. He's just like obsessed with his stocks, which I'm assuming he's a stockbroker because that's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I'll help you look. And she's like, no, listen. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously. No, listen, motherfucker. I can't find Tate. We have to go look at Tate. Something is weird. So he gets up and they start looking around for Tate because they cannot find him. They're calling for him. And obviously Tate's like, I don't hear the knock. I'm not coming out. Like, this is not a thing. And as they're walking down the hall, jump scare, fucking Patience jumps out and is like, we need Rosemary. Can you go to the store? And Shane is like, yeah, we're going to get the kids and I'll go. Like, I'll get Cody and Tate. And they're like, you can leave the little one and the girl with us. It's very like weird because Ethan has now popped up in this moment. And they're like, no. And so then they kind of like start fighting. They're basically realizing that all of these pilgrims are like showing up around them in this like tiny little think of like a hallway that's like really short. It's like a short hallway. And so they're like all of these fucking pilgrims surrounded them and they're like, oh shit. So now they have been captured and they have been put in the like wood stock things. At this point, Cody is like still running back. Tara mentioned she didn't fucking bring her car.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So she's like trying to get back. And then it kind of cuts to that. And then it cuts back to Shane and Anna who are in the stocks and they're sitting there. And they're basically like, you guys are blasphemers. You don't appreciate what you have. They're like beating Shane with a whip. They put like a bit in his mouth, like a horse bit in his mouth to keep him quiet. Again, they live in a suburban neighborhood, like fully like, yeah, they have a big yard, but it's not big enough to where you don't hear your neighbor. Like if I was in my backyard and someone was beating me, my neighbors would be able to hear it. And they're like 2-story houses around them. So they would be able to see into the backyard. Apparently, all of these neighbors have gone on vacation for Thanksgiving.
No one's there.
The fucking HOA people are like, fuck this bitch. She weird. Then they like take a brand, right? And they like brand them with a B for blasphemer and they put it all over their back, which at first I was like, they're going to put that on her face. Like there was part of me was like, that's where they're going with this. Thank God they didn't. So Patience is like branding them. At this point, they go inside. Cody finally makes it home after her incredible journey across the wilderness. She gets home and is like, sees them and basically is like, okay, we have to save my parents. So she releases them. Right then, the fucking like builder Pilgrim, who's like fucking massive, comes and is like, no, don't escape. I don't know. He doesn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. And the three of them get into a fight and they like try to kill him. Like Shane picks up a fucking rock and bashes the dude's head, doesn't die.
Ooh.
So then they like, this is one of my favorite parts of this movie. They're like, grab your weapons. It's like very like, think like funny movie. Like they grab a weapon and then like show it to you in like a jerky motion. They do this. Shane grabs a mallet. Cody grabs a mallet. Anna grabs a fucking wooden spoon.
I'm like, bitch, what are you going to do with that?
Get the fucking fire poker, ma'am. Come on.
For real, right?
So then they just like attack him. They're fighting. They get him on the ground and they just start beating him with it. And apparently he dies, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Then Shane and Anna start climbing in. They're going to go up the trestle into the house through Anna's window. Ethan catches them, stabs them in the hand. They fight, they fall down. Basically, Patience kills Shane with an axe, chops his head off. Don't worry, this is not Shane's last scene. We will see him soon.
Yep, we will.
They capture Anna and then they capture Cody because Cody was like walking around the house and all these pilgrims were like slowly walking out towards her. And they capture her. They put Anna in the garb because they have Shane and Anna and Cody now are all wearing the pilgrim garb, the underwear.
Yes.
So they're all in there. Anna is just tied to a regular chair while Cody is tied to this weird contraption that basically is a, like, think Salem witch trial, Monty Python, if it's a duck, it floats. They basically are tormenting Anna to the point where Cody breaks and is like, stop. And then they're like, aha, we got you. They then take they didn't take Cody, swing her over the pool and they start dunking her. And every time he's like, are you grateful? She's like, I am. And then until she fucking breaks and is like, yes, I'm grateful. Then they're like, okay, we have to try to like,
dinner time.
Be a family, blah, blah, blah. The Pilgrims, dinner time. So they go to sit down for dinner, but they also are like helping them prep. Now there's a part in the movie earlier where Ethan and Tate and Patience go berry picking. And Cody is like, this is like one of the first red flags for Cody with them because she's like, there's no place around here to fucking pick berries. And he's like, if you live off the land and are a hunter and gatherer, you know where to look. It's like, okay, creepy person. Now there's a callback because at the beginning, in that scene at the beginning of the movie, there are these berries called like Jerusalem berries and they're super poisonous, but they picked them for some fucking reason. I don't know.
I think like a decorative thing is why they did it. Cause like, I remember that because Tate was trying to eat them and he was like, no, don't ever eat these under any circumstances. Da 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 da.
The red berries with the green stems don't eat.
Yes.
And so she's like being forced to make like cranberry sauce or jelly or something.
Yeah. Cranberry sauce, I think.
As she's doing it, Cody sees the berries. Mm-hmm. We don't actually see her grab the berries and put them in yet. There's going to be a flashback later.
Yes.
Just keep this in mind. So they're prepping the dinner and then they sit down to the dinner and they're like tied there and they're like, where is young Tate? And they're like, I'm not fucking telling you. And they're like, well, we must eat now. And then they open the chafing dishes to find that Shane is the turkey. Gobble, gobble.
His torso is the fucking turkey and his head is on a platter separately.
Yeah. And they're forcing Anna and Cody to eat him. They're like shoving it in his mouth, but they're also spitting it out. Thank God.
Well, still, ugh.
And Anna is like, rightfully so, is like freaking out because she's eating her husband. And Cody's like, my dad. It's very, very weird. And then at one point, okay, I jumped ahead a little bit. Before Cody gets captured by the Pilgrims, she finds Tate and she tells him to hide and not come out until she tells him to. And then she gets captured by them. Then she's like, I gotta go find him. So Patience is like, fuck it, I'm gonna go find Cody. And she's like walking around the house. But mind you, they've all eaten food. And Patience, when she like shoves the food into Cody's mouth, she like licks her fingers.
Ew. Yeah.
I was like, okay, actress, why did you put your finger to the bottom knuckle into your mouth? Like,
that was the whole point. It hit hard. That was the whole point. She did such a good job in the grossest way.
It was so gross. It was so gross. So then Patience is off looking for Tate. She can't find him. And then Cody is like, blah, blah, blah. They're all eating. All the Pilgrims have eaten dinner at this point. And Cody's just kind of acting a little like coggy. I was like, woman, you're caught and tied to a chair. Come to find out, she'd put the Jerusalem berries in the jam, and now everyone is vomiting blood.
Yes.
So Cody escapes. Anna and them are like kind of fighting.
She runs to go find Tate because Patience at this point is like, I'm going to go get this little shit so he can eat his dad too.
All of the other Pilgrims die.
Yes, they all fall over.
And then somehow Ethan and Patience don't die.
Can we talk about this real quick? Because this happened before.
Yeah.
During the fighting scene, literally Anna stabs Patience in the temple with this like poker thing. And Patience, it was like her hand covering her face. And so the poker thing went through Patience's hand into her head. And she pulls it out and is like, I was just stabbed in the temple, but it's a mere flesh wound. So I'm fine, Ethan. Don't worry.
I'm fine.
So then she's looking for Tate, whatever. And that's when also Ethan screams at her to like make herself throw up.
Right. It's like, expel your whatever. And
expel yourself.
So she's like vomiting, but she's also vomiting blood because she's also been poisoned.
Yeah.
And poor Tate, like she's throwing up onto this cabinet and Tate is inside the cabinet.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then she like kind of starts running back. There's this whole thing because I think you have to like decapitate these people. Like I think that's how you kill them.
Yeah.
But like they're still not like everyone else dies but Patience and Ethan as far as Pilgrims. So basically what happens is Tate sees that Patience is down and he comes out and he basically unties Anna and Cody, his mom and his sister, and they're like, let's hug. And they're like, oh no, Ethan and Patience are still alive. We should probably like fight. So Anna sends Cody after Ethan, but she's like, run away, child. Like, so Tate runs away.
Yeah.
Anna's like there, but like Patience attacks her and it's so gross. So Patience basically like tries to overpower her and kill her. But then Anna is like fighting back and she fucking uses Shane's head to like beat the shit out of Patience.
Yes.
And then, mind you, Tate doesn't run too far because he's like standing in the doorway.
Is that dad?
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Yeah, poor kid. So she's like beating him. And then Anna is like, she's standing over her and Patience is going to like stab her, but she stabs her in the neck first. And then Patience actually dies. And I think it has to do with the fact that she's been weakened from the berries and is killed. She doesn't have time to, quote, I'm assuming regenerate. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever their deal is. We don't know. Mm-hmm.
While that is happening, Cody is like attacking Ethan. And so basically Cody gets to Ethan. He's not doing well. He's got blood all over him because he's thrown up and everything. And they basically like are like, why are you doing this? And he's like, you need to understand, because they literally capture him and they're like, he's outside and they're using like the fire poker and he's like laughing at them at one point because they've been like beating him with this shit. And he's just basically like, this is really funny because isn't this what you wished for?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And whips out the wishbone.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he opens up his hand and there's half of the wishbone that he has. And Cody is like, fuck you. And she grabs an axe and she cuts off his head. And then he dies because Ethan can't live without a head. Basically, the only survivors of this are Cody, Anna, and Tate.
Yep.
Shane obviously is dead because, you know, he has no head and his torso is cooked. This movie is such a trip.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it's worth a watch. I think it's hilarious. But what's really fucking interesting is when you first watch the bit of the movie, it says it's loosely based on a true story. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So basically, one of the authors or the writers, Noah Feinberg, basically his parents had Pilgrim reenactors. There was no murder. There was just weird shit. And so he was like, I took this experience as a child and created this horror movie.
I love it.
So when they say it's loosely based off a story, that's all it is.
Yes, because watch the full credits. They cover the reenactor's like face for his identity, but like there's even a picture of him when he was like from his childhood of him and his siblings with the fucking Pilgrim.
Right. And so it's only the fact that they had these like characters that showed up at their house that refused to break character is the only reason why we have this. That's amazing because it's like, what a way to spin it. Can you imagine being Noah's parents and like watching this movie and be like, what the fuck, man? It wasn't that traumatic.
Right.
But it was great. You guys know I'm the resident scaredy cat and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would say it's like a dark comedy slasher type of situation for sure. So that is our journey with Pilgrim. Again, you guys can check this out either on Hulu or Disney Plus. Definitely recommend, especially if you need something just kind of like you want something festive, but you know, our weird shit. There you go. But that is going to go ahead and wrap us up for today. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you back here on Sunday for another Sunday Scaries. Bye, guys.
Toodles.